Oh. Ooh. Everybody did something wrong. Down my mouth. Try this. What this say over here? Oh my goodness. They say you need to change the unsupported resolution. You need to change the video resolution. The current resolution is 640/36, which is not supported for this configuration. The expected video resolution should be 1280/70. Let's see. Let's see. I just want that. Okay. Yes. Burnt my doggone mouth. Hi, how are you today? What up, though? Y'all, thank you for dropping by. Y'all know this is Can Angels Fly Tarot, and this basically is an Aquarius rant. Let me see if I can define an Aquarius rant. I'm just talking about my findings. It's basically coming from more of a personal, what do you call it? I'm always brain dead. A personal rant about my research findings and how it's unbelievable to me how we so I don't know. We're huh? Yeah, come say hi to my live.
Well, it's black compared to you. I just got the sun.
Well, stop playing back. This is my daughter Pearl. Say hi, Pearl, to everyone.
I don't look black. I need to stop. The sun cooking me.
I'm like playing basketball.
Look how light my legs are. I had to look at it. Come on.
I see. They don't want to see it. Get out of here. Hello, how you doing?
I got a heart. You see, they love me.
Y'all, yep, they love you. So I'm gonna tell y'all what I noticed today when I was doing my research. Well, first let me tell you what sparked me to want to do a live stream, do an Aquarius rant. Is when I've been researching all day long. That's primarily what I do. Research is my pastime. It's my main time. It's my in-between time. And I mean that literally. After I handle all my responsibilities and duties, I go back to research. I don't care when I get through love making. I go back to my research. That's my go-to. And I really enjoy it. And so today I'm just doing some research. And I'm looking up into the month of August of 2018. Hi, everybody. That's an Aquarius. Yes, it got to be. It got to be. Anyway, I've been on this, what do you call it, a binger, a research binge, and evaluation process of all the zodiac signs. When I do an Aquarius rant, again, it's for me more of a personal kind of thing. But I actually be looking at, you can't look at just one. I be looking at everybody's stuff. Like I said, astrology allows me to be nosy. It allows me to be in everybody's business, to come to understand where people be coming from, because I can't make no sense of it. without it as an Aquarius. It just don't make no sense no matter what I do. So this really helps me feel like I got the upper hand. I'm finally the playing field level. So today, my in-between time is I'm researching. And so every now and then I'll stop and I'll go to YouTube and I'll just start clicking on videos. You know how they show it on the side. I tell you I'm a YouTube junkie now. And so I click on this video and I'm hearing this dude talk about the current astrological energies. You say, that's funny. I was looking into astrology just a second ago on series. It's very interesting. Right. Now, I just got through dealing with that energy as well, her energy as well. It all correlates. Right. It all correlates. It's never ending. I call it an unending story. Humanity is an unending story. And many of us are just oblivious to what's taking place. I know people that's into tarot and astrology and different stuff like that. We own it, but I don't think we believe in what we see. You know, what we are interpreting or perceiving. I think we can't believe it. I really do. And so we go back to our whatever our go-to is. Mine is just happen to be research, so I just keep ending up back in the same place I started. So, again, I do appreciate y'all dropping by here to Can Angels Fly Tarot Live for Aquarius Rant. And that's what I plan to do is rant and cuss and fuss. I do have the tarot cards available. Of course, you ladies and gentlemen know I'll answer any burning questions that you may have. But I got to get this off my back. Y'all, I got to get it off my back. So, I take a break and watch a YouTube video. And so this dude is talking about the current astrological energies. And as he's describing the current astrological energies, I was like, well, I got to put it here. I'm always talking to the divine. God, that's my only road dog right there. I'm like, well, God, what he's talking about, that's what I covered. But I've been covering, well, it's impossible, the way I see it, to just cover the astrological energies because it's too intense and everything is, as you say, correlated. So it's really hard. So we have to kind of try to break it down and figure out what to pull. Then the theme is the same, but how you compose the story can vary. So those are some of the complications associated with astrology or interpreting astrology. So anyway, so as he is giving his interpretation of the current astrological energies, I realized I knew I was going to forget a video. If y'all see any cards, they call them cards flying around. Those are cards to different videos I made that are directly related to this video that I'm making now. And it's also one to support animals, just in general. Was it PETA, something about the protection of the environmental, something about the animals or something like that. Them folks, them fine folks to help me out. So one of them cards. But the other ones are the videos that I made. And which one is it? I didn't put it in on the cards, but it was about, oh my goodness, don't let my brain seize up now. As usual, another Aquarius thing. The dude was talking about the current astrological energies. Oh, I did a video. Oh, it was called Who is Sevan Bomar? Who is Sevan Bomar? And in that video, I was talking about us who? Every individual in humanity. We're all going through this paradigm shift. And I was talking about how I'll define what the paradigm shift is. The paradigm shift is our consciousness, I'm talking about humanity overall, consciousness about the world. It is about, talking about this paradigm shift, is our ascension into a heavenly state or our descension into a hell-like state while here on this physical plane. And so in that video, that I didn't add a card to, but if you want to go check it out, it asks, the title of it as Who is Sevan Bomar and whatever else it says. And I bring that video up because I start going through some of the differences in the paradigms. what two paradigms in that video am I comparing? I'm comparing the old paradigm we have just left since, I think it was, don't quote me, you have to watch the videos when I had the material before me, when Uranus entered into Taurus. That was the onset of our paradigm shift into the new paradigm from the old. So anyway, I'm comparing the old paradigm to the new paradigm. And so when I'm listening to this dude do his interpretations, like, man, I already covered that. I covered that, and so I started thinking about the videos that he was, that I had done that covered the material he was talking about. And so I was like, wow. But it was his presentation, y'all, that got me going. His presentation lined up with the new paradigm. Do any of y'all have any idea of the rules or the norms, the standards, the functional norms and standards that go hand in hand with the new paradigm? Do any of y'all have any idea? Really? I mean, I know y'all, this is a tarot channel, and y'all come here to see me interpret the cards for you, but I talk about so much more because, again, like you said, all correlates, it all goes hand in hand. Do any of you really understand what a paradigm is, that we are or have gone through a paradigm shift? Are you aware of what the paradigm shifted from and to, and what it means for you as an individual person? Well, let me talk a little bit about this dude. I'm not quoting anything he said. I'm just loosely talking about it because that's what got me all fired up. Now, the new paradigm, there are certain rules. And again, right now I'm going to say, I don't mean to offend nobody, but there are certain rules that go with the new paradigm. Some of the new functional norms are, we got a lot of, we have this broad umbrella now for sexuality. The old paradigm had a very strict, rigid, narrow role play for sexuality and family. The men masculine, the women feminine, the women to the caregiver, the man was protector, provider, da, da, da. Now we have this wider umbrella, and sexuality has lost its boundaries, I'll say. So we got the LBGT community, we got, I don't know, it's a lot going on. We got the bisexual, the transsexual, the pansexual, and a whole bunch of other stuff that I will have to research and write down because my memory is this long. So that difference in sexuality is a paradigm shift. Another thing that's just examples I'm giving of the paradigm shift is, like, when I went to school, we had to sit at the desk forever. We had to learn the alphabet. Then we learned the alphabet, we had to learn to spell. After we learned to spell, we had to learn to write. After we learned to write, we had to learn to write in cursive. And at the same time, we was learning the definitions. It just went on and on and on and on. And I used to complain, like most kids, like, what the fuck I'm going to do? I ain't say it then, but yes, I did. What am I going to do with this? When does it end? And old schoolers used to say, you won't understand until you get older. You won't understand until you get in my shoes, up to my age. I was just talking to my friend about this. Right, the paradigm shift, it is some major changes going on. And what we are experiencing is real. And it's really going to have an impact on our lives individually and globally. And I think that's what people are missing. So now, I just did a video. It was called a public announcement alert that talked about how nowadays ain't all that. You kids don't go through all that. I done fussed and cussed at my kids and fell out with them because they don't want to write a whole sentence. I be like, you can't do that. Yes, they can, based on their new rules. They can do what they want. They can emoji, they can SMX, text backward, /, all that counts. All of it's fair game. But what it is doing is shortening our attention span. That's what I made in that last video. Leading us not to be able to concentrate or to be able to deal with things on an extensive, comprehensive level. Y'all often hear me talk about law. I'm going to digress right there. And just what I'm pointing out right at that moment is that is a part of the paradigm shift. When you think about the boundaries surrounding sexuality collapsing into whatever they have collapsed into, the variations. When you think about, what do you call it, the basic education or elementary education, when the boundaries to that has collapsed, in whichever way it has, not only that, it's medical, it's in every single aspect of our lives, in our whole world, the whole paradigm shift. Now, I'm going to start right there, y'all. I'm going to digress again. Another thing that got me going, why I got to do this Aquarius rant, is that when I was interpreting the stars today, I'm going to read something to y'all, and it is 4 pages long, and y'all know how I write. I didn't go over it and proof it or do anything. I just wrote it. I just started looking at the stars and doing my interpretation just to see what's going to take place in August. And so, y'all got to keep this dude in mind. I'm going to come back to him, the one that was delivering his interpretation of the stars based on a new paradigm. And now, me personally, I done set up a Patreon channel to start creating videos that deal with the new paradigm and giving the information to help a person advance under the rules of the new paradigm. He's doing it on his channel to some degree. And I say to some degree because when I do my presentations and interpretations and have the discussions with you ladies and gentlemen, I try to do it in a way that I want somebody to talk to me. Because most times stuff be flying over my head and I don't get it. So I be trying to engage y'all on mundane, everyday, we sitting in my living room talking like we girlfriends and boyfriends. Like, you know what I'm saying. Friends and associates really trying to get somewhere. I really want us to get somewhere. So, why am I saying I'm all over the place? Now, it's not just a rant. It's a rambling rant because I'm all over the place and I'm Nutty Professor Nancy. So, y'all just hang with me. Y'all with me. So, I was digressing. Let me try to go back and talk about how when I was interpreting the stars for August, I did it for August 15, 2018, 12 noon, New York time. I look at New York as a mecca and an epicenter in which everything, including the astrological energies, radiate out and end up affecting and influencing everybody in the world. So, well, when I was doing an interpretation, I got this, can I call it a statement or I don't know what to call it. Okay, let me go back some time ago, maybe about 2 or 3 months ago, 2 months ago, I did my videos, my astrological interpretation, and gave that interpretation to each zodiac sign. And in that video, I talked about the purge taking place. Now, y'all got to know where I'm going to go talking about the purge. The movie, yes. And so I bring that up because I noticed as I'm interpreting the stars, these movies, these very popular box-breaking movies, their titles fit into the astrological energy or relate to the astrological energy. What does that tell me? That tells me that the world at large, me and you and other folks like us, are really just starting to get over into this stuff. This stuff, what am I saying stuff? Astrology, astronomy, tarot, divination, are a part of the new paradigm. The old paradigm, people were governed by religion and tradition. That was it. All this stuff was voodoo and taboo. So I'm saying that all of this stuff is fairly new to us. But it was not. This divination and tarot and astrology and all that was not new to those that were, I'll say, a little more economically independent and strong, or had good, strong social connections. They were those, I'm going to call them elitists of different levels, were tapped into something being astrology, tarot, divination, or whatever the case may be, that gave them the upper hand from manipulating us, humanity, and this world in their favor. Then there were others that might not have been so malicious at all. Their mother suckers was sitting down writing books and scripts based on this stuff years ago. And you hear people talk about it all the time, especially here on YouTube, about, oh, this go with this movie, and this movie predicted this. No, no. The stars predicted it, and the person, whoever was the perceiver, the researcher, did their creative thing, and they created their films or their books or their systems in order to manipulate the circumstances, situation, and people in their favor. Anywho, I just noticed today, this is another thing that got me going, is that these movies, The Purge was one that I picked up on in my interpretation either a month or two ago. And today, I picked up on another movie. And I think the movie, I should have Googled it, but y'all know I didn't. This is just an Aquarius Rant. Is The Divide. The D-I-V-I-D-E. The Divide. And so when I was writing it down, because I just be writing. And I look and say, hey, that's what it said. That was the movie. That was the book. And today it was like, that was the movie. And what I wrote down here was The Great Divide. Now, I read off my paper because I be jotting down notes. It's just everywhere. And so sometimes I have to read my paper to keep up with what I'm saying so I don't forget nothing. Because what I be talking about is real important, y'all. And I think that we need to be aware. Well, first let me give what they call it, shameless plugs. I want to shamelessly plug my own videos for my video catalog. If you have some time, I would like you to watch them. One video that I did was in 2016, and I have cards for these. And it was called, I changed the title a few times. Some of y'all might have seen it. But the current title is, they call it The Event Commenced 2016. Why do I want y'all to watch that if you get some time? Because in 2016, I had a experience. It was a, interactive revelation that ended with a prophecy that I share here on YouTube. And since that time, that prophecy has continued to unfold and is being revealed in the stars the exact same way in which I received it, in the exact same order that I was told it was going to unfold. So, I repeat that title to that particular video. It's called, they call it The Event Commenced 2016. Again, I've changed that title multiple times in order to try to get people to view it. Anyway, I want to cite some more videos if you have time to watch, because all of this go together. Remember, it all correlates. It all correlates. The other video I made, it was, I don't know if it was before that one or after it, but it was somewhere around the time. It's called End Time Prophecy. Yeah, I was into some prophecies, y'all. I was getting some stuff back then. And it's called End Time Prophecy. Your ass is grass due to the world's greatest pyramid scheme. It's all relevant. And another thing I want to announce, now I'm just rambling, y'all. Just getting everything off this paper so I can move on and read what I picked up so I can really get the rant. This is my TMI. Is that when I share my personal experiences with you, ladies and gentlemen, I be wanting to reveal to y'all how the energies really do compel us, actually impel us to engage in certain things and have certain experiences so we can come up with an outcome. And everything that I look back over my catalog, and I realize everything I shared with y'all, every little dirty detail about my personal life was in line with the astrological energies. I'm telling you. Another thing I want to talk about, I don't know why I wrote this. Oh, I'm gonna just read another video that I made that's relevant. I'm talking about things that I've covered that are relevant to what's really taking place now. It has to do with the shift from the old paradigm into the new. And let me say this now before I get the shift from the old paradigm to the new paradigm is what is, or what I've entitled, the Great Divide. Remember, the Great Divide is one of those movies, box office movies, I do believe, that has come out in the last few years. And I'm sure that Great Divide, what was the divide, was not the only movie that the one that I saw in the last couple of years was not the only divide. There were multiple divides, is what I'm trying to say. So, the Great Divide is a shift from the old paradigm into the new paradigm. I talked about some of the examples that show the change between the old paradigm, the old way of doing things, and the new paradigm. The old paradigm was going to take us down one road. The new paradigm that is absolutely possible, especially due to our technologically advancing in the way we have, down a whole nother road. Now, it is up to us. You always hear me say us, me, you, and every individual in humanity, where we end up going, the path that we take. Either we will be descending down to hell collectively, or we will be ascending into heaven, or bringing heaven, this realm, back into a heavenly state. You know, ascension, descension, that kind of thing. Now I'm getting lost. I was talking about the old paradigm being outdated, and the new paradigm that is being structured. See, y'all see I'm scratching my head. This is the nutty professor thing, y'all. This is what I be going through. I want to say that the did y'all know that Uranus entered Taurus in May of this year? I do believe. But are you aware? I don't know how many of y'all really follow astrology or not. Are y'all aware that Uranus, the planet of sudden events, shaking you up, that's the Tower card, happening in order to shake you up and say, wake the fuck up, look at what's taking place, do you want to keep moving forward, or should you change something? So what? Uranus represents the opportunity for innovation. Gives you a moment to stop and think, to see if you should make some changes as this innovation take place. So let me go back. Uranus entered Taurus in May of 2018. Right now, Uranus is retrograding, meaning going back into Aries, the sign before. What does that mean? That means, see, I don't know when I do, it's over there in a stack of paper somewhere. Y'all gotta remember, I'm the nutty professor doing an Aquarius rant. That Uranus originally entered Aries. What is it? 84 years. What's 84 divided by 12? 7 years? 7 times 12. I'm gonna say 7, y'all. I could be wrong. 7 years, 2011. So I'm gonna say, I could be wrong, my math could be wrong, that Uranus entered Aries in 2011. What does that mean? In 2011, the foundation to certain things were put in place. What am I saying? Well, I got to jump back. What was put in place? The transition from the old paradigm to the new paradigm. The foundation to the new paradigm was laid down by 2011. And so since 2011, we have built upon this new paradigm. See, it's already in motion. The old paradigm is being outdated. It's dying. It's going away. The new paradigm is being built up. Now, remember, Uranus went into Taurus, which is physical. It went backwards and went back to Aries and said, look at the seed you planted. Look at that stuff you set up for the new paradigm. Now, pay attention. Remember, Uranus is represented by the Tower card. And y'all know y'all all go to shaking in y'all boots when y'all see the Tower card. You know you do. So, we have Uranus that went backwards into Aries, asking us all to look at the foundation we have laid relative to building this new paradigm. Remember, this new paradigm has the potential to either have us bring heaven upon this earth or to descend deeper into hell. So, divinity say, take a look at what you have done. You have stripped the school system. You didn't make it better, the educational system, and this is what you replaced it with. This was the standard, we'll say, for sexuality. Now this is what you're going to do. These things that you have chosen to do are going to take you somewhere. Are you sure you want to go there? And so, what am I saying? Still dealing with the Great Divide, because the Great Divide talks about what side you're going to be on. Are you going to be stuck in the old paradigm because you've already been influenced by the other older generations? You know, you used to writing full sentences. You used to reading books, magazines, crossword puzzles, those kind of things. You used to being one-on-one, you know, with the opposite sex, or you still had this vision in your head of being married 20, 30, and 40 years. You still had these old-time standards that you govern your life with, where others realize the old paradigm is decaying, and they didn't made the jump or the paradigm shift into the new rules, where people ain't interested in being married 20, 30, 40 years. People ain't interested in having sex, always having sex with the opposite sex. Hell, they ain't even interested in having sex with one person. Those kind of things, and so much more. One day, well, that'll be on whenever I start my Patreon page, going into all the different aspects of the new paradigm and how it has affected and shifted and what we must line up with in order to be successful in this work. Will a person like myself that's still stuck under the delusion or with the structure of the old paradigm, can I even be happy in the new paradigm? I don't know, but I'm going to explore that. But anyway, that is why I titled this energy, the paradigm shift, the Great Divide. Because there are going to be people stuck in the old way of things. And then there are others that will move on to the new stuff. Now, with all that I done talked about, other things I done talked about on this channel that are critical and correlates to all of this Great Divide is I done talked about dope and drugs, and its impact upon us who, me, you, and whoever else may have indulged in some form of drugs, and its purpose then, and then it has a purpose in the new paradigm. I've even talked about the economy and economic, what do you call it, maybe a hard copy or hard money giving way to ghost money. All right, it's still ghost money, but at least you had it in your hand, because nobody just flick the switch and make you broke. You know, that kind of stuff. Over to Bitcoin, we call it. And I bring all these things up because even the money is a part of the paradigm shift. Old school, you had the paper money and some coins. You know, the old school dug up the backyard, put it up in the ground, under the tree, in the pillowcase, under the carpet, in the ceiling. Old folk died, money was everywhere. This new paradigm wants to get rid of that hard copy, hard paper, and them coins, and give you some binary codes or digits to equate for the amount of money you are worth in this world. Flick of a switch, you off. In this place, yep, now it's Bitcoin, right? In this place, on this channel, I have talked about 3 days of darkness. Why have y'all ever heard of the 3 days of darkness? Hmm? And if you pay attention, I don't know where you from, but I know where I'm at. And I have watched them set up a system that they going to flick the switch on everybody. They're going to take the Bitcoin and everything, but they're going to put people in the dark. 3 days is all it takes in the right weather for people to begin to die and for food sources to be um, destroyed and so much more. This 3 days of darkness is a potential for the new paradigm. It serves a purpose. Anywho, I'm all over the place. This is an Aquarius rambling rant from the Nutty Professor Nancy. I'm going through something because I've been aroused today. Excited. So let me read what else I got here so I just won't miss anything. Oh, another thing is I want to talk about, I don't know how it fits here. I'm going to just say it, so I put it, it's out here usually when I say it. When it's time for me to grip it, as long as I say it, I can reach and bring it back. Would you say, yeah, no more snap. No more snap. That's a whole part. That's a whole new part. So you're riding with me. You're riding with me. Of the new paradigm shift. Yep. And I talked about that too, especially in that video. And this is, I even talked about that no more snap, but not talking about snap exactly. But I was just talking about the doing away with that in that video that I cited, talking about end time prophecy. Your ass is grass due to the world's greatest pyramid scheme I did about 2-3 years ago. That one, check that out. I was looking fly on that one. My nails was long and they was pretty. Look, I was so jealous of myself back then. I done got old in 3 years, y'all. I'm all over the place. I'm coming back to y'all. So, as we bring that up, the changes in, what do you call it, commodities or something like that, is a part of the new paradigm shift. In an old paradigm shift, people believed in, for the most part, taking care or making sure that the underdog was taken care of. The old paradigm realized even in a utopia, everybody could not be gainfully employed nor provide for themselves, and they made provisions. Were those provisions abused? Yes, of course. Hello, how you doing? Welcome in. Of course. But in this new paradigm, it won't be that compassion. It won't be that, what do you call it? Support. Not at all. And it's a purpose, and it reveals something that many will argue with. But this is an Aquarius Rant. I ain't here to argue. I'm just here to talk and to vent and to be able to hang out with you ladies and gentlemen. And another thing I have written over here is why all the political propaganda. Well, I may have to go into a video, individual video about the political propaganda that has been taking place for the last few years. And it really does have to do, you almost understand, I don't care who you're with or who you ain't with, but it does serve a purpose. It actually has an overall purpose, an overall goal, and it will affect people on an individual level as well as a global level. You say that's why Aquarians are needed. We got to rise to the occasion because now is the time. Often when I'm doing my research, I kind of feel like it's too late. It seems like it's too late. Then I go to look for divinity. And when I'm telling y'all, when I was reading today, I wasn't reading the stars really to come discuss anything with you, ladies and gentlemen, nor to create any astrological interpretations. I really was looking for just to see what was happening, and I'm constantly looking for divinity's input into all of this mess. But I don't see divinity input into this mess. All I keep coming back with, and it was given to me in that, what's it called? That video I cited earlier, which was called, they called it the event commenced 2016, where I shared with you I had an interactive revelation. It was a prophecy in 2016, and I shared it here on YouTube. And since that time, it has unfolded in the stages in which it was predicted to unfold. That one. Yeah, I talk so much trying to keep it. I was talking about the political propaganda, how it's going to affect and influence every individual and global. Oh, I didn't come on here to share this. However, looking for divinity and its input. I need some salvation. We need some salvation. I don't see salvation. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. It seems that if I'm interpreting all this information that I get and research and all that, hell, I'm not trying to knock divinity out, of course, but it's as if it is up to us. The free will, it seems it's up to us what actually happens. Like he ain't going to stop it. You know, it's going to go through its whole cycle or whatever it is that we create. So it's up to us. And so I was just talking about how the political propaganda has something to do with it. Now I'm going to read this paper, then I'm going to move over here and read what I got so I can go into my serious rant. It says, and I might have already covered it, I just want to make sure. Revealed in the various interpretations of the star. I'm going to start here. The Great Divide, defined by the outdating of the old paradigm and the unfolding new paradigm. Revealed in the various interpretations of the stars. I was talking about that dude earlier, and how that dude and myself and others like us, we all give an interpretation of the stars. For the most part, the interpretations all have the same thing and cover the same subject matters. What got me riled up today is that those same themes or subject matters can be looked at, I can say it, are looked at through each of our individualized filters. Now, this good. This good. I ain't thought about it. I just did an astrological interpretation for each sign. And one of the topics that the stars pointed out this month was about each of our individual filters. Mental filters, how we process things. We, as an individual, me, standing in a session, we have been in this life and we have perceived with our senses, whether we saw it, we heard it, we tasted it, we smelled it, we perceived, we took it in. And our minds have a filter built into it. That filter has been developed through all of our life experiences, the good, the bad, the ugly. So everything that we perceive is washed through that mental filter before we do what? Boom, project back out into the world. I found that interesting. Because I'm talking about all the people that deal in divination, including the tarot cards, astrology. We each of us, whoever's into it, even you, whatever depth you are as far as it, your level of sophistication, you perceive whatever you study, or you perceive whatever you hear on YouTube, and it washes through your personal filter, and you project it out in the world. Why am I saying that? Those like myself that maybe have taken it upon ourselves, being called to duty by divinity or whatever the case may be, each are reading the same story in the sky, in the stars. But, when we read the same story in the sky, we take it in. And remember, each of us have our own dang on filter. So we're processing it through our filter. Like part of my filter is the rules and regulations and standards and norms associated with the previous paradigm. So when I project it back out into the world and give you an interpretation or speak to you, it's washed through that old paradigm. Where the dude I heard give a interpretation today. He has obviously embraced or converted over to or leaped over, made his way over into the new paradigm. How do you make yourself way over to the new paradigm? You must first understand what you're going into. You got to understand. You got to understand what's taking place. Anywho, so he's reading the same message, getting the same subject matters dealt with as I am, but his filter is that relative to the new paradigm. He washes all that information through that filter and pushes it and projects it back out into the world via his interpretation of the stars. Why is this important? Well, because you ladies and gentlemen are the ones perceiving our messages. You that visit my channel and listen to me do tarot and astrology and all that kind of stuff, ramble rant, you're listening to my interpretation of the stars, which is washed through my filter. So, I am, as are others, making an impact upon you. I want you to just chew on that. That people that study this stuff is making an impact upon you. The good part about it is that either way, whether somebody, that was just one filter when I talk about the paradigm. We all have different filters because we had different life experiences. That the good part about it is that someone, me or whomever, is taking the time and the energy or the resources to really sit down and interpret certain things that people don't look at no more. Would you say there are more Aquariuses needed? Yeah. This is the age, or we're entering into the age of Aquarius. So that's the benefit, that there's somebody else taking their energy and their time and their focus and concentration in order to really interpret very, very critical, important information that will affect the individual as well as overall humanity. It will affect and influence the individual psyche and consciousness as well as the collective consciousness, humanity. But the downside to this is, there's a downside, is that if you, just say hypothetically, case scenario, are stuck in the old paradigm with me, but you are receiving the message from another person, and that other person is projecting or giving an interpretation of the message through the new paradigm filter. How can that possibly help a person like me? And you, if you're something similar to me, stuck in the old paradigm, the old way of thinking, the old rules and regulations. See, that is a negative, because you won't be able to, how can I say, you're not going to understand fully what that other is saying to you. And you're going to understand what they're saying, but you're going to yourself wash it through what? The old paradigm. And the information that they're giving you don't go with the old paradigm. It does not correlate. You get what I'm saying? Oh, I'm making it make sense. Anyway, so I wanted to talk about, let me read. The story is the same with Story from the Stars. But what filter is someone perceiving it through? The old paradigm or the new paradigm? And then it's the projection back into the world and its influence upon the perceiver. Now, I'm going to have to hold off there. I stopped writing because I started trying to think of all the movies that I had seen and the titles. But, because I was just talking about one. I'm rambling. It's a rambling, Aquarius Rambling Rant. I was just talking about, what that video did I just do? And I was talking about something. So, anyway, what's important here? And hopefully we're going to come back to it. I know we're going to end up coming back to it the way the energies seem to be going, is that you are perceiving some information that is imperative to you and your well-being in this physical world, whether it has to do with employment, love, sex, relationships, expanding, going out, medical, whatever the case may be. Let me go ahead and chat. Step into the future. See the world with the new glasses. Yes. But some people are going to have a hard time taking them new glasses off. Like myself. I probably got stitched in contact old paradigm lenses. And so mine is going to be it's going to be a major transformation for me. Oh my goodness, I don't want to go through that. Hey, how are you? So y'all just grab your little something to drink. I'm about to read these pages. Now, actually, what this is, y'all know how my writing is, so it's going to be all over the place. My pronouns ain't going to go with my nouns and my adjectives. I was just writing the interpretation. I was writing down August 2015, August 2015, 2018, 12 noon, New York, New York. New York is the Mecca Center. What is it called? Epic Center. In which the astrological energy spin out from. And they end up just touching us all. I say that. And so I was interpreting it. And originally I was not interpreting it, again, to share with you, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm going somewhere with this. This is an Aquarius rant. So I got to read this. Understand, this will help you understand what's taking place in the month of August, and you can superimpose your life on top of it and really use your imagination to kind of ride the wave to come to understand. If you can be truthful with yourself, then you will be able to infer what's coming your way. I feel like I live in between the two time worlds sometimes. Heck, that's me all the time. Now, again, y'all, a lot of this ain't going to make sense, so I'm going to be kind of jumping around. But anyway, let's begin, because I need to go somewhere with this and understand that when I read this and any astrological interpretations I give, I wash through my personal filter. So, I'm going to begin to read my interpretation of the stars for August 15th. Now, let me say something else. August 15th. You also often hear me say the date of the stars that I am interpreting. But you also hear me say infrequently, hey, that information that is offered in the stars do not go out and dissipate in just a moment, within hours or days. No, it goes out because it's been commanded by divinity to perform certain acts or duties or works. And that energy will continue to move until it has accomplished what it has been commanded to do. Remember, the realm we live in work for the God that created this realm. So they ain't going to go back empty-handed and say they ain't did it. Oh, hello. How you doing? Nancy always dropping the knowledge on us. Thank you. So you joining me, huh? Y'all, so y'all don't mind me being a little nutty. Another characteristic associated with Aquarius. But I want to keep you up to date as much as possible. It was something else I'm supposed to say. Hopefully I remember it after I read this, because I definitely got aroused today. Okay, now reading. Y'all see? My glasses. Every last pair of reading glasses I got broke. Sometimes y'all should see me. Sometimes I have tape wrapped around my head. I am the for real live nerd up in here. Okay. It says, you are ready. You're ready. What do I mean by you're ready? This is just a short, that was just a short, brief interpretation of a particular astrological alignment. And it was saying that, hey, after all you done been through, you done had enough time to mentally process, break down, and formulate a plan, a thought, a theory. And now you're ready to go. Anyway, here we go. So I just, in short, I wrote, you are ready to go. All the world is a stage. I know y'all have heard that. What you saying? LOL, Aquarius problems, broken glasses. Yep. another problem. Is it solely Aquarius? Look, it could be anybody else, any other sign that got broken glasses, show that they carrying the Aquarius energy. How about that? We'll own it. So, back to the reading of the interpretation of the stars for August. It says you're ready to go. And all the world is a stage. And you see yourself as the main character. Ride this wave now, y'all. Your goal is to be the star of the show. Your life experiences have led you to understand how your path to manifestation has resulted in your current lifestyle. Let me try to make that make sense. It's like in that moment of time of reflection and coming to gain clarity and to synchronize everything so that you can get ready to go. One of the things you realize is how you've gotten your lifestyle. Now, your lifestyle is very particular to you. But in that time period, you came to understand the path that you took to get where you are right now. You're just mom. You are just too focused, Nancy. Glasses can't take it. Look, they break under the pressure. I can understand that. Y'all so silly. Okay, so you come to understand that. And it says, including your ability to sync up with the right people. And you remember, I talk about the energies can go left to right, away from you, into you, negative, positive. So ride the wave, use your imagination, superimpose your life on top of it. What have I said thus far? You'd have had the time to sit down, to contemplate, to formulate, and your emotions, your desires, everything been in it, and now you're ready to go. You realize that world is a stage, and you are the main character, and your goal is to be the star of the show. And so your life experiences overall have led you to understand how your path to manifestation has resulted in your current lifestyle or quality of life, including what? What else helped create your lifestyle or your quality of life? Including your ability to sync up with the right people or not. All has contributed to what? Your quality of life. You got that. We got that. Okay. And now, mind you, we're talking about on an individual level. Everything I'm talking about is from an individual level all the way to a global level. Let's go on. Your quality of life, when I say quality of life, I'm also talking about lifestyle and all that has to do with the making of your world that takes care of you in the physical. Let me go on back reading. Your quality of life is structured by your closest associates. I know y'all have heard that before. And their primary focus and goals, or your shared primary focus and goals. Remember my writing, so I'm improv. Pray for me. Again, your quality of life, or your lifestyle, is structured by your closest associations and your shared focus and goals. Whether the goal was to work hard and build a prestigious life, or if it was just to work hard so you could play hard. There may have been reoccurring challenges and power struggles between you and another or other, as each of us, have been pulling to gain necessary resources. Did y'all hear me? Although I did it right. Because I'm improv. This is an Aquarius Rant, and I'm Nutty Professor Nancy. So, I'll read. There may have been reoccurring challenges and power struggles between you and another or others, as each of you were pulling to gain necessary resources to help yourself move onward and upward. Whatever your goal has been, what has been your personal goal? Number one, we know you want to be the star of your show. Anyway, you scramble and seek to obtain whatever resources you personally need to move forward to bring into existence the reality you have been dreaming of. Did y'all hear me? It says that we have been interacting with other folk, but we've been basically scrambling, scrapping, seeking to obtain any resources. When I say resources, what is it that you need to bring whatever dream you have for your life into existence? Those resources, whatever they may be, are what you feel like you need in order to get your life together so it can be where you want it to be. That's what I mean by your dream. Anyway, I continue. At any given time, your level of emotional comfort and security in life has been attached to what you can obtain during your scramble and search for resources that can help you move forward with your life and the reality you dream of manifesting. What am I saying? At any given time in the course of your life, at least in the last few years, I say, is your emotional comfort and security in life has been obtained, sustained, and maintained by what you can get from the world to appease it, to satisfy it, to pacify it, and to try to create a tolerable reality that you can live with. I'll go on. Oh, this is another side note. Y'all with me? This is a side note I wrote. Based on what I saw in the astrological energies, is that at this time, there's a whole lot of fronting going on. Y'all know what it means by a whole lot of fronting? A whole lot of people are presenting to the world that they're okay when they're really not. I don't know if you're one of them people, but I know at times I'm one of them people. But there are people out here that can't even admit it. And so I'm interjecting too much. But it seems like people having this undercurrent, like subconscious kind of panic, and we're interacting with each other. But actually, I'm jumping the gun. I'm going to read. I'm going to stop, digress. I'll come back to it because I'm about to get going. So I'm going to keep reading. Remember, I'm interpreting stars relative to August, the energy around August 15, 2018. And it goes on. It says, although you use your creative energy to create the circumstances, situation, and to meet the people that can assist you in manifesting the reality you dream about, there continues to be a hidden factor. And that hidden factor is you don't know what the other person gonna do. I ain't read my paper. I'm gonna go back and read my paper, but that's about what it says. It says the hidden factor is you don't know what the other or another will do in response, or what they might want in return for their beneficial contribution into your life. I don't know if I made that sound right, y'all. Now I got to say that again. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm just going to say, summarize it. It says, you personally, me, I better talk about me. I don't want to get in trouble. People like myself use our personal creative energy, our magician card, in order to create circumstances and situations and to try to meet people that can assist me, us, with manifesting the reality that we dream about. The issue is we have no idea at all what the other will do in response to us engaging them, to us meeting with them, to us bonding with them, or trying to negotiate with them. We don't know what they gonna do. And another thing we don't know what they gonna do is what they gonna ask us for. These stars are something special. Now, again, this is a little longer because this is the interpretation of all the astrological energies that reside in that will be present in the month of August. And I make it into the storyline that you can superimpose your life on top of, use your imagination, ride the wave, so you can kind of get the gist of what's going on. I'm sure if you're listening, if I'm really articulating what I see in the stars, that a story is developing in your mind. Y'all let me know. Anyway, I'm going on. It says, that is to say, what is to say? Talking about them people that you don't know what they're going to do. It says, that is to say, their decision will have an impact on your quality of life. Because remember, some of us, like myself, may be using all our creative energy, our magician, to bring about circumstances, situation, and meet people that can help us, assist us to accomplish our dream. We don't know what they're going to do. Let's say hypothetically, case scenario, you engage and encounter a mother sucker and they are not willing to fulfill the terms that you set forth. Period. They impact the quality of your life. How do they impact the quality of your life and ultimately your lifestyle? It's because whatever key they hold that can help you, you don't get that key. But then it's the other side. It's always the positive side. That sometimes you're able to access, engage the right person, create a bond, forge a bond, put your terms and conditions on the table, and interact with each other really to bring about some benefits that's beneficial to both parties. Yeah. So, I'll go on. One thing is for sure. You're moving to assert your will. My reading and my writing. One thing is for sure. You are moving to assert your will into the world, and upon another or others will reveal if you, not you, I want to get in trouble, no point. Now I learned that from the old paradigm, you don't point, are a passionate antagonist. You learn through asserting your will, moving to try to make these contracts, moving to create these circumstances and situations. You get to learn. If you are a passionate antagonist, meaning you push, probe, bust, cuss, do it, manipulate, whatever you got to do to make a mother sucker bend to your will. Or if you need healing from a current or past attack from an antagonist, have you been stung by the scorpion of the 8th house? Or for others, they may be called to show another or others how to overcome infliction and how to move on. So we all got a role to play. We realize that this world is a stage. Question is, are we the main character? But I read on. Whatever the case might be, you are compelled to move forward and perform whatever works and deeds make life easier and leaves the door for opportunity open to you. You can expect that some sudden event, remember earlier in this live stream, I was talking about Uranus was in Taurus and now it's retrograde back in the Aries. Your planet of seed is the star sprouting. Uranus then went back in Aries and asked you, are you sure? Well, okay. You can expect that some sudden event, circumstance, or situation will occur. What am I talking about? Around August 15th, somewhere around that time. Remember, the energies don't come and go in a day. They set out to perform what they have been commanded to do by divinity. So, eventually, will occur. related to a partnership or a contract. Now, the partnership can be either professional or personal. It could be a business contract. It's just you and union, an intimate connection with another. Uh, and your quality of life or lifestyle. It's surrounding that. That's the clue. That's where the event takes place. Let me see if I can give you an example. This might be a little difficult. Oh, no, it's not. Because I can go back up to the energy that just talked about how we take our fabulous, creative self-expression and we move to attempt to engage or bring about the circumstance, the situation, or people, meeting of people that can assist us in reaching our dream. But we don't know what their response will be. We don't know what they may ask from us. Hypothetical case scenario. A person asks you to do something that is against your moral values or beliefs or how you think, etc., etc. But they have the key or resource that you need to help manifest your reality that you've been dreaming of. That is an example of what it means for Uranus. Well, I don't have for a sudden event to occur. You get to see. What might you get to see if you can interact with that person, or what you might have to do to bring about your dream. Anywho, I'm gonna continue to go and read because I'm still interpreting the stars for August 2018. So, we can expect some sudden event that might be shocking as the occurrence demands demands that you take a close look at the subject matter or issue to determine what changes you should make to give yourself the freedom to reform your plan or course of action for your life. Okay. So that means you're going to be confronted with making a change or a decision if you want. But it's up to you. It's completely up to you. You don't have to do anything. But it will be a moment of enlightenment, a moment in which it will be a shocking or sudden event. And it's the purpose of that moment of that shocking event or the tower is to get you to think, to reform if necessary, or to just be aware of what you're dealing with or what you're walking into. And it does have to do with your quality of life or your lifestyle in some way. And all I ask you to do relative to your lifestyle or quality of life is to just Google, YouTube, a video about the second house of Taurus. And I also have a video here on my channel in my catalog, and it's under something to watch, my video catalog, and it's called The Second House, and I think it's entitled The Haves and the Have-Nots, in which I covered the second house. Anywho, going on, interpreting the stars for August 2015 in storyline form, so you can superimpose your life on top of it. If I'm doing it right, you should be kind of having some visions of what might be. Anyway. Oh, I'm all the way up here. Where I'm at? I'm all the way. Okay. Okay, it says the freedom to reform your plan or course of action in your life. Remember, although we interact with each other, each individual has their own personal wants and needs and has the liberty to choose to satisfy themselves over you or another. And the choice to do them and the choice to do them can impact what you are desiring one way or another. What am I saying? We each have the right to choose ourselves over the next person. And some people will do just that. And for people stuck in relationship dynamics like that, understand that will in one way or another affect your ability to move forward or your quality of life. But we know one monkey don't stop no show. I'm just saying that it could be a individual that you might need help, assistance, or something from some key, some resource that is not going to be willing or interested in working with you and helping you better your life and reaching your dreams. They're more preoccupied with themselves, and they have the right. Just be aware. Anywho, because they want to do them. It says the mind will be agile, leading to lack in compassion and sensitivity as you contribute into the lives of your closest associates. Again, self-value. Yeah, a lot of people are going to value themselves over others. And when I read this, when I'm reading this, I'm gonna stop. Let me see where my pen at. Oh, I don't went blind. The glass on so long, I went blind when I. This is where I left off at. Okay, it's only a little bit more. No, it ain't. I'm lying. When people do live streams about 2-3 hours, it's okay. I want to stop there because remember I was talking about the old paradigm and the new paradigm. Part of the old paradigm had to do with, like you're talking about, no more SNAP, having humanitarian efforts, supportive efforts, helping the underdog, volunteers, all these kind of things were a very big part of the old paradigm. The new paradigm seems to be diminishing those more humanitarian efforts, caring for others, and has more of a focus of I'm doing me. It is about me kind of energy. And I stopped reading the interpretation because what I've been interpreting, remember, I'm coming through my filter. My old filter has to do with the old paradigm. So the way I'm seeing it is that, how can I say it? That once upon a time when you could kind of count on people to work together and collaborate and, is going to be, for some, difficult to come by. Now, I'm going to digress there and go back to read because I about lost my thoughts in this here Aquarius Rant. And so it says the mind will be agile, very active, leading to lack of compassion. What am I saying? An individual mind is going to be so activated and fully engaged on doing them and figuring out. Remember, you ready to go. At the beginning it says you ready to go. So a person is really in the zone. I call it being in the zone, or riding the way where you get in this zone and you know if you in this zone you can take it all the way, long as there's no interference. See, that's the mindset many will be in the month of August. They in that zone about self and fulfillment of self and bring it into the reality. Long as don't nobody stop them, but there are people that can stop them. And who are the people that can stop them? The people that they need to enter a contract with in order to gain a key or a resource or whatever the case may be. They can stop them. So what am I saying? That a person's mind is so agile, active, and focused on manifesting their desired reality, doing them, that an individual will lack in compassion for another. It's like the blind spot, because they in the zone. It's a blind spot. The other folks and what they want and all that association is a blind spot because certain folk going to be in the zone. So we thinking about people being in the zone. And so the mind will be agile, leading to lack of compassion and sensitivity as you contribute into the lives of your closest associates. So yes, of course, you, me, and every individual still be engaging with those that are very close to us, those familiar spirits and familiar places or whatever we're going to engage in. But our mind is not there. You ever heard of the emotional mind? Your emotions move you and govern the mind. How I go? Emotions move the mind and the mind move the body. It's just like, case scenario example, when somebody get a heartbreak and they heartbreak and it's hurting and it get heavy. That's the emotional part. And that emotional, what is it called? Drowning. It's connected to the mind, and it start working on the mind. Oh, I miss them. I should go up. I can get down pretty. And then you go. We say it's the ego taking over. Very thin line. And then you go into action. Well, that's what I'm referring to. That type of energy relative to people, certain people in the month of August, as they associate with those people close to them. Their mind is in the zone. They got a goal they want to reach, and they're still interacting with the other. So could you imagine your mind in the zone? You ready to move forward? You know what you want, your ambition, your dream, a certain reality. All you need is some keys, but you got to engage these other. They asking you questions. They talking. They want you to go sip. They want you to go market. They want you to come listen to them cry. So people might be a little insensitive from that. A hurt person hurt people. And going back to the antagonist that I read about earlier in the stars, some will find out that they're an antagonist, pushing people. And some of those people that will be antagonists and pushy are hurt people. And hurt people hurt people. Aquarius Rant, rambling rant right now. Anyway, let me finish on with this interpretation of the stars. I'm almost done. What y'all talking about? You take on that energy if you're not aware of self. Exactly. You got to be aware of self. That's so important. And y'all gonna take me. I'm a scatterbrain on somewhere else, so I'm gonna turn back here. Cause I ain't going there because I'm about to go there. Okay. The belief and truth, whatever it is, surrounding what you care about. What is it that you really care about? What is it that you really want? What is it that you dream of? Is overlaid. Who said something about the ego? Who said something about the ego? By the ego. And the ego defense mechanism. I found this so interesting. Don't start, you're going to throw me off. And what did I find interesting? I really am impressed with how intricately this realm that we reside in is put together, including all the rules to the game. Well, I don't know all, but what I do know. And how, even with me tapping in as an amateur, that it all, going back to the beginning of the live stream, correlates. Not long ago, I did a video. I don't even know what it was about. But I talked about the ego. Because I had kept seeing different things in the astrological interpretations and in the tarot. That seems like the ego was a major problem for us. Us who people in humanity. Not you. Just other folks. And so I did the research on the ego. I know what it was. It was called Who is Your Master? In that video, Who is Your Master? And Pearl, the one that was here earlier, she had little devil horns. Because she all rough, tough, play basketball and do all that stuff. And my other little daughter, her twin, Ruby, had a little halo or something on to be the little angel. One was a little angel, one was a little demon. And what was I talking about in that on that video? Who's your master? It was about the ego and how you and your consciousness, your soul, is the referee and makes the final decision. And now here go this ego stuff again. And so my research for that video was something that I could tap in for an interpretation relative to this video. And so I'm going to go on. It says, the beliefs and truth surrounding what you care about is overlaid by the ego and the ego defense mechanism. A particular ego defense mechanism showed up in the stars. And I didn't expect that. That was part of my research. A particular ego defense mechanism. And that ego defense mechanism is called reaction formation. Reaction formation. So this is what reaction formation is. That is the converting of unwanted or dangerous thoughts, feelings, or impulses into their opposite. What am I saying? And what does it relate to? Remember, some folks in the month of August is going to be in the zone. And all they're focused on are their goals, their ambitions, and bringing the reality into existence that they dream of. And they got to mess around with these other people and all their issues, worries, and concerns, and what up? So, what am I saying? Can that person that's in the zone let off to the others that they don't want to hear what they got to say? They don't want to do what they got to do. Of course not. So, instead of letting it be obvious that they're irritated or don't want to be bothered or whatever the case may be, the ego steps in to defend the individual that's in the zone, and the ego has a defense mechanism, and it is converting the undesired or the dangerous feelings, emotions, or impulses into the opposite. What am I saying? The individual that's in the zone know they don't want to be bothered with the other, but they also know they can't let the other know that they don't want to be bothered with them and that they irritated. So what they do, their ego steps in to defend them from danger. Danger of what? The danger is that the person with the in the flow won't never get their reality manifested. They can't have that. That's a dangerous zone. So this person in the zone, ego jump up. The ego defense mechanism take control of the what do you call it, helm, the steering wheel. And what it does is it converts. It's the converting or converts over the unwanted or dangerous, can't let them know, thoughts, feelings, or impulses into the opposite. Oh, I love you. I hear what you're saying. Really? You need my help. You want to go to show. You need my shoulder crown. Whatever the case may be. I'm here for you. So, I'm going to go ahead. It says, one has the inability. Why does this person do it? Because one may have the inability to express their negative emotions about not giving a care or wanting to support the other. And doing what? Dealing with whatever issue they got going on. What's the issue? That they too have a desired dream that they want to manifest. The person don't give a care, but they ain't gonna let off. They ain't gonna let off. The ego gonna jump in. The defense mechanism gonna jump in. They gonna say, "I love you. I got you. I got your back." Yada yada yada. What you saying? I will be holding my what's that? Soda light on me. Gear up. What's the soda light? Soda light. I don't even want to know. Don't tell me. I don't want to know nothing. If I don't know nothing, I can't say another thing. So I'll keep reading. So we know now that certain people will have their ego will jump up, take the steering wheel, and the ego defense mechanism will jump in place, and the opposite will be executed. Rather than saying I won't be bothered or showing irritation, to be like I love you. Anyway, it says another or other over themselves. What was I saying? Because that don't even sound right by themselves. It says that one has the inability to express their negative emotion about not caring or wanting to support another or other over themselves, and instead becomes overly involved in the other's life. What y'all talking about? The ego wants to feel safe and secure. It acts on impulse, the lower energy, the subconscious mind. Exactly. It is a mineral, helps with the communication. Oh, okay. Okay, I see. I thought you was about to pull something hot on them. I ain't want to know. I didn't want to know nothing. But okay, I can handle that. Okay, so now this person that gets in the zone um, converts their irritation over to being overly involved in the other person's life. Will this be a clever tactic that will work in favor of an individual in their individual's life? Wait a minute. Here go my. You know I had to have it right, or it ain't me. Will this be a clever tactic that will work in favor of an individual's life and get them ahead in their exploit to satisfy their personal heart's desires and the creation of that dream? Question. Will an individual's personal desire rise above the desires of their closest associates? Why do I ask that? Because remember, the stars suggest that every individual in humanity has a desire. They have a dream that they want to manifest into reality. It is one that makes life more tolerable, I'll say. So, we all are scraping and scrambling in order to obtain the resources that we need in order to begin to develop the reality that we dream of, that is tolerable. We don't know what another person is going to do in response to our request to work with them or to obtain some key that they have that we can only access through them. So, we also know that we can get into the zone where our mind is basically fixated, is highly active, and it's planning and plotting and reforming and forming so that we can do what? Achieve our goal, to make that dream come true, to build a reality that is tolerable to us. And all that, we know that we cannot let the other person know that we don't care about what they got going on, what they talking about. So our ego steps up because what you say, the ego wants to defend itself. It wants to be safe. And the ego says, well, you can't let them know that. Otherwise, you'll never obtain your goal. You'll never see your dream realized. So instead, convert that energy and become hyperly involved in the other person's life. Is this a tactic? Being hyperly involved or caring or supportive, whatever the case may be, in another person's life going to be beneficial to a person that does that? And if it is, will it be so beneficial that it makes their desires more important than the other people around them? And them other people rally around that particular person and help them fulfill their desire. Huh? Hello, how you doing? A need for Aquariuses. Hello, how are you today? God bless you. Yeah, hello, thank you, and God bless you too. God bless you all. Oh, the crystal shop. Where can I find this mineral? One day, I'm gonna get me some crystals. It's coming. One day at a time. I'm not through yet though, y'all. What y'all got to do tonight? What's the day? I haven't got. See, that's some real nutty professor Aquarius NASA stuff. I don't even know what day it is because all I do is do what? Study and research and take a break and study and research some more and go Google. Then go handle business, pay some bills, and I come right back. It's my favorite pastime. What's my favorite pastime? Researching and studying, especially the stars. It come in between meals. It come after, before and after meals. It come after sex. It don't matter what it is. I come right back to it. Okay, y'all, I'm about to run through this last energy that is relative to the star astrological alignment for August for 2018. If you have a wild enough imagination and superimpose your life on top of it and see how it works out, and let me know if you begin to see. So, let's go on. Oh, see, when I go from page to page. Okay. Not carrying the one. Did I finish this one? Yeah, I finished this one. Oh, yeah, we gone. Hold on. Okay. So the question is, will that work out in the favor of the individual who executes that particular tactic of becoming hyper, superly engaged and involved in another's life? Of course, that depends on the individual, any individual, and who they're dealing with, and their skill base in, we can say, manipulation. Let's see. The mind and the thoughts return to self. What am I saying before I go any further? Remember, the person that's in the zone and got the goal can't let others know that they irritated, and so they convert that energy, and rather than showing to others that they're irritated, they get hyper involved in the other's life. It's a tactic in order to get those people on board to help them move forward with their vision. And after the tactic is executed, what happens? Are you an Aquarius? Me? Yeah, I'm an Aquarius. Wrong woman stuff. I'm an Aquarius. Yeah. Yeah. She is an Aquarius. She asked us not to ask her anything because you know we get scattered brain. Yep, that's what happened. But I'm almost done now. You see, I stopped for chat because there only be a few of y'all in there, so I can read some. And I think I learned. I was gonna say something, but I don't see the little gray sliding box. So if it go, I'm gonna miss it. So y'all get ready. If you got any burning questions that you would like a one card answer for, you can start thinking about those. I'm gonna finish up the astrological energies for August. Again, feel free to superimpose your life on top of it and see if it fits. If you can see where it may fit in your life, it may already be taking place the way I be seeing these energies. Okay, so now the mind and thoughts return to self as we are in a time frame where the global mind frame or the global mindset is self-absorbed. This is the do me first season, going back to the new paradigm emerging. This is the period in which the soul, catch this y'all, this experiences that I was just talking about, I'm breaking down for August 2018. This is a period in which the soul learns a critical lesson on its journey through what? Through this particular life. And the ego may receive an adjustment. Oh, that's okay. You can talk. Go ahead. I just don't want y'all going too fast because I'm nosy. I want to keep up with y'all. And I'll be over here reading and improv. And, you know, I got scattered brain, broke glasses, all kind. Can't see without them. I got so much going on, y'all. I'll be trying to slow down so I can catch up. And it usually works. So go ahead. That's fine. All right. Now, the do me first season. This is a period in which the soul learns a critical lesson on its journey through life, and the ego may receive an adjustment. Devotion and care are placed on. Now let's talk about this. This is another interesting thing. That the devotion and care and sensitivity, that kind of motherly focus, is on being involved and doing one's part in the social circles that offer the most assistance. Does that make sense? What am I saying? Remember, we got this person, they in the zone, they got a goal, they got a dream they want to manifest into this world. They're irritated with another, but they can't say they're irritated, so they convert that energy and do the total opposite, and they get so involved in another's life. Will it work for them? Will it lead the others to support them so that they can realize their goal, their ambition, their dream? Well, whatever, let's say hypothetically case scenario, this person is their tactic of diving over and acting like someone is so important and giving them all the energy is a wonderful tactic, and it's successful. This person that has a vision, the dream they want to manifest into reality, has roused the people, their comrades, and their comrades then join them on a single cause, on a shared cause. And what cause is that? The fulfillment of that individual's heart's desires. So, when that person sees that they have aroused the others to help them fulfill their cause, they immediately become motherly to that organization or that group or whoever it is that's giving them the support or the opportunity or the resources to realize their dreams. It goes on. It's one more page, y'all, and I'm done. It says those particular groups, which I was just talking about, the ones that end up helping the person, being bamboozled to redirect their energy their way and support them. Well, those particular groups, organizations that provided needed support will be the platform for an individual to work on manifesting the reality they always dreamed about. In short, these particular social networks, the ones that help them, will be cherished as they offered the individual the saving grace they needed. Now, I've got to say something else because it's going to be somewhat incriminating. So, those that help them, whatever they can get the key from, wherever, oh, they love them. Like, really? Yeah, okay, I care. So, you know how you butter somebody up to keep them going? It's called building morale. Like, building morale. That's my dog. That's my sidekick. I can depend on him, and flattery and that kind of thing come in here. And so we can see this person upholding, uplifting whoever helped them out to help them fulfill their goal. But check this out. It says, as the individual begins to create their dream reality, they will be prone to aggressiveness. Because remember, they in the zone. And the only thing that stops a person in the zone or when they riding away is the pushback or the refusal of another to allow them to move forward or to allow them to gain the resources, help, or connections they need from them. That's the only thing. Right now I'm talking about when the blockage is moved out the way. They in the zone. They gone. So now they're moving forward aggressively. And so they're prone to the aggressive creative energy. They making it happen. What are they making happen? They are beginning to build, create, or develop their dream they always had, bringing it into reality. And no one, check this out, no one is exempt from the exaggerated aggressive energy, not even the one who offered the opportunity for that person to realize their dreams. Did y'all get what I'm saying? Check it out. Like, okay, somebody say, I'm going to work with you. I'm going to give you the keys that you need. And because you've been so kind, so generous, so loving, so supporting to me, so I'm going to help you out. I can put my stuff on the back burner and I can help you out. Maybe after I help you out and you achieve and bring what you want in the reality, you will turn back, take some time to help me get mine off. What ends up happening? That person be like, okay, the gate is open. I'm moving ahead and I'm riding the wave and I'm materializing my dream into reality. And they under this aggressive, creative energy. Ain't no stopping, putting it in place. And then the people that helped them still standing around or assisting them. Why? Because they agreed to put their stuff away to help them obtain, saying, okay, well, we partners. When you done, you gonna help me. Shit, excuse me. The way the astrological energies look like, what it's suggesting is that not even that person that set their stuff aside to help that other mother sucker realize their dream is exempt from that aggressive creative energy. Now, aggressive creative energy, we know how to create chaos. Chaos. See, that aggressive creative energy is another form of chaos. And chaos is chaos. So, what am I saying? Yes, that person that has been liberated and able to move forward on their dreams and realize them in the physical, they're funneling the energy, the chaotic energy into creative expression in order to materialize. But we also know that chaos is like a black hole and it's all consuming and it can be destructive. And what I say, ain't nobody exempt from that hyperactive creative energy that person exerts once the gates are open. Not even the person that aided them or gave them the opportunity or the saving grace. That's interesting. Anywho, I'm going on. I got one more paragraph, y'all. Y'all got any questions? Go ahead and begin to type them, and I'll answer the burning question that you have with one card tarot offer. Anyway, the emotions govern an individual's mind. Remember we talking about that emotions, how you feeling, and this mess with your mind and your mind's, tell you what you go on into action, tell you what do you go on into action. So anyway, the emotions govern an individual's mind, edging them on into the next cycle of experiences that will eventually broaden the individual's mind one way or another. What am I saying in short and closing about the astrological energies for August 2015? August 15th, 2018, is that each of us, namely that character I use as an example, is being emotionally propelled to move forward. Their emotions are governing their minds, and their minds are governing their acts. What are they really doing? Using my example as an example, is that they are actually creating upcoming experiences. It's like we're entering, and they are entering into a new cycle. What is it going to be? Let's infer that that person is able to begin the development of whatever their dream is, bringing into reality. Question is, what is the dream that they want it into reality? It depends what they want. I'm going to go back to the chat because early in the chat, someone was talking, when we were talking about Uranus and Taurus and Uranus and Aries, talking about no more SNAP. That's the food stamp program. If that is what a person wants to bring into existence, it's going to bring a whole series of events with it. So I point you back to Uranus in Aries, retrograde, Uranus retrograding back in Aries. It asks us, are we sure that we want to move forward with a particular seed that we've planted that is not sprouted? Are you sure? Because the truth of the matter is, whatever the effects are associated with that sprouted seed, you as an individual and globally will have to carry all the responsibilities and duties associated with that seed. And a lot of the seeds that have been planted, especially on a global level, have to do with the new rules associated with the developing new paradigm. And then I got to spotlight this one more time, is that there are certain people like myself stuck in the old paradigm. How do we successfully make the shift? Especially when that shift, getting over there to the new paradigm and the way of thinking and doing and being and existing, runs contradictory to your personal morals, beliefs, and values that were established during the old paradigm. I hope y'all know what we're dealing with. So what's going on? Y'all got any questions or comments that you like to post right now? Of course, the table is open. My table always open, y'all. But thank you for y'all patience, because I be getting, that's why I be having all these notes. If y'all saw how much paper I went through, as a creator, you're supposed to have a budget. My budget is for paper and pens and chalk and boards. Oh man, because it's so much information. And I really been getting a whole bunch of information. A whole bunch of information. And I still have yet to deal with that last information I got where I told y'all I just heard out the blue. What was it? Vexin, Sexin, X, and Hexin. And my smart butt, when I did finally think about it, I said I'm going to add Texan. So it's Texan, Vexin, Sexin, X, and Hexin. What was that all about? What is that all about? It's about people self-imposing spells upon themselves, or hexes upon themselves. It's something like getting caught up in a loop. Again, I haven't set up and meditated on it, but it's about getting caught up in a loop and how it's self-imposed. And that particular loop, that includes my smart butt added texting, but before that it was just vexing, sexing, X, and hexing. It's a self-imposed spell or hex on yourself and someone that you deem that you love, that once started, it's difficult to see where it came from and how it continues to perpetuate itself, and it's hard to see how to get out of it. But again, I haven't focused on that, so let me go back over here. It says that's that, two of source energy. I just laid cards out and that kept coming out. Stop. Before I started this live stream, I laid 6 cards out. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I laid 9 cards out, stacked up. And one of the cards, major cards, was the Two of Swords. What the cards were saying to me, it was talking about this energy that these interpretations that I get, that they are not well accepted. Because another thing that came up in the stars, I'll say that, another thing that came up in the stars when I was reading them, not this time, some other time, recently though, in the recent past, it was saying relative to the generational planets, which are Pluto, Uranus, and Neptune. These are like generational issues, or generational social issues we have to deal with. That what is taking place, including what I'm talking about, the old paradigm giving way to the new paradigm, and all the stuff I talk about, is something that most people cannot handle, period. And so when I laid out those 9 cards, the Emperor came up. What's the Emperor? There you go. Came up, and it was showing that through a lot of order and organization and discipline and research and focus, learn the rules to the game, and it's this rigid kind of energy, the box, seeing the box, the grid, the matrix, the whole thing. Underneath it, I don't know what's under it, but what the message was about was saying this stuff that I study and share with y'all are not, it's not well received. Understand that. It causes partnerships for people to stand off away from me. It's talking about the seeking of truth and information and having to make a choice. And the choice that I am making, what it was letting me know, the choice I am making is based on my deep-rooted beliefs. How would I say it? If I really didn't believe in it, if it really wasn't a part of me or my life destiny, I would not share it because I know it's what is it called? Inadvertently, it is negatively affecting my relationship and ability to build a community because of, again, the filters, my presentation, and the information itself. But based on the understanding, the level of awareness, being part of my life journey, I'm required to. And it's certain things that I am losing. It's interesting. This stuff is deep. It's things that I am losing that I long for because of the path I'm on. That's some deep stuff. And at Two of Swords, I went through all that because the Two of Swords was what came up. No questions, Miss Nancy. Please relax tonight. No. Y'all gonna take it easy on me. Well, I appreciate y'all. Is there anything you'd like to discuss or talk about right now? Am I wasting my time with a potential love interest? Are you, Regina? The Four of Wands. Are you wasting your time with a potential love interest? Let's talk about the Four, because it talks about stability. It talks about being grounded. It talks about an energetic platform. 4 is an even number. Therefore, it talks about balance or your foundation. Your energy foundation is balanced. That your sexual energy is balanced. Those kind of things. So you ask, are you wasting your time? I can't say that you are wasting your time because it shows the stillness, balance. Are you attempting to rush something? It's like you're supposed to be sitting patiently. You're not overexcited. You might be in a good place to evaluate, to process. It's like you are governing your emotional state. It's in a good place. And so are you wasting your time? I don't think you're wasting your time, especially if you are pacing yourself. If it's not you pacing yourself, but it's the other pacing themselves, and that's why you're asking, are you wasting time on a potential of it? Well, guess what? They're very grounded, energetically grounded. They're not trying to rush into anything. They are pacing themselves. They are honoring their inner emotional state and the tranquility that it possesses as now. And somebody don't want to throw that to the wolves. But they say, don't throw your pearl among swine. Somebody don't want to throw their pearl among swine, and they pacing themselves and they taking their time. I hope that makes sense to you. You're welcome. Yeah, hi from the UK. Hello. Miss Lynn, 1974. Now, should I quit the job I have so much drama with and just sue them? Wow, that's big. The fixed energy, which is the old belief system and patterns. That's why all these eclipses are happening with the fixed signs, to break that energy and allowing healing with Sharon. But some will make it. I hope so. Oh my goodness. And it is. And then that's a whole nother interpretation. See, was it Renee, is that it sounds like your interpretation, which you share, is through the filter of the new paradigm. And like you said, that there are all these fixed eclipses are happening. All these eclipses are happening in fixed signs, talking about trying to end something that is fixed, stable, stubborn to move, and how once those things break, that people will need healing. And that is the other side of the bridge that exists. So yeah, thank you for sharing. And that is another interpretation. And that's what I'm saying. So I'm trying to figure out personally, How do I, because number one, first, I got to let go of the old fixated ways, that are governing me. But I don't see nothing except for technology, but the most part, that I'm even in agreement with in a new paradigm. I'm really not. The smart houses, that's privacy invasion, and it's just a lot of things that seem that will manifest or grow in a new paradigm that most of it's already been established, so you can kind of see or infer what's about to take place. And I ain't with none of it, except for the technology part. Okay, should you quit your job? That's a hard one. Dodge, what it say? Seven of Wands in reverse, pointing back to the Six of Wands. I say take your time, slow down. That's what I say. But the Seven of Wands talks about your partnership or connection with something or someone. In this case, your job. It's showing that it hasn't been very easy, of course, for you to move forward. This card is in reverse. So when we talk about partnerships, we talk about terms and conditions. What's the condition that you have? Hey, I need to be able to work. Maybe say I need to be able to work 40 hours full time, and I anticipate getting paid. So my question to you, Dodgers, are they making good on their part of meeting your terms? That you said, I will pay, this is just an example, I will work 40 hours and I want my money. Are they doing that? And then what have they asked you to do in them 40 hours? Are you doing that? Okay, so it's about the satisfaction of the terms and conditions that's on the table between you and your job. Now, all of that, them people getting on your nerves, is separate. This Seven of Wands goes back into the Six of Wands. Let's talk about the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands represents your day-to-day routine and all that you have to do in a day to make life easier. Just get it done and make life easier, that kind of thing. And hopefully open up some opportunities to you, so that when the opportunity come up for something new, you can jump on it. So what am I saying? Should you quit a job? It goes back to those terms and conditions that's been put on the table between you and the other party. Is everybody fulfilling they terms that they or in conditions that have been set forth? If not, then yeah, it might be a time to break. But that drama thing is something totally different, because how would I say it? Whatever the contract you is, whatever the fine details are between you and other, how does the drama fit in there? How can I say it? The drama, like for instance, I'm saying some people just get involved with their co-workers and there be too much gossip. Can you pull out of that? Because that ain't got nothing to do with the terms and conditions. So to quit your job, no, not if they are satisfying their terms. You always getting your check when you're supposed to. It ain't your and you safe. Stay. But if anything is not, like I'm gonna give you an example. Your job got human resources. Now, I'm sure in human resources might be something that's about not being bullied. So if that is not, you done took it to human resources and they ain't did nothing about it, well, guess what? They breaching their contract, and that's your all right to get out and to be sued. But of course, this is 7 also is about litigation, and you having to have all the fine details. When you start talking about suing, you better have recorded and logged everything, person, time, place, offense, and have it right in order to move forward. I hope that makes sense. All right. I'm finding it very difficult to break free from an Aries female. It could be karmic, but I feel very connected to her, and I am an Aquarius. I've been noticing that. You say good advice? Heck, my memory this short. Was that a Dodge? Not really. They just keep up a lot of gossip and drama. Staying clear of them. Staying clear of them, Dodge. Don't make me cuss here on YouTube. Don't even get me started. Okay, Miss Lynn, 1974. It kind of suggests to pull back. Now, this interesting. This is the Ace of Wands. The first house, number 1, Wands, the initiation, the onset, the urge can represent Aries. And he said, I find it very difficult to break from this Aries female. It could be karmic. So tell me, Miss Lynn, is your Aries like pretty hard to get pulling away, because this card is in reverse. Not wanting to connect with you as much as you would like, because it shows a lack of passion or motivation or ambition or to move or desire to move forward. So this person may, how can I say it, be playing, manipulating you in some way, because they might not be fully engaged as you would like. And or this card represents what you are actually saying, that you're having a difficult time breaking free from this particular Aries, or pulling back. And what they've been saying is blockage, is refusal, and it also talks about taking control of your own personal desires and passions, or whatever is arousing you. And you have to govern yourself and your energy, understanding that your energy is priceless, it is limited, it is valuable. And if you say that, if you think that you should not be engaging or initiate engagement with that other, that's exactly what it is. And so what am I saying? You are at the beginning, number one, the onset, the initiation of beginning to build, life lesson, your ability to govern and control yourself and your urges. What am I saying in short? It seems like you are going through a life lesson, if that makes sense. She really hurt you in the past. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on, let me go back. Today was my first time as watching live. I don't have any Aquarius friends, so it was nice to be around like-minded people. Thank you for your time. I need to hear your message. Oh, you're welcome. And that's interesting. I don't know many Aquarius people. I've been meeting more in the last few years, but for a long time I didn't know any Aquariuses. And I maybe that's to keep us from being stagnated in our mental processing abilities as individual Aquarius. I don't know, but I find that unusual. That every time I talk to Aquarius, not many of them have Aquarius associates. Next thing, you're the best. They seem to want to connect, but I am spiritual. This is spiritual too. Okay. And they operate a lot from their ego. Now, this ego too. And so that's the deferring of motivation. It's motivation too. Deferring motivations. You're the spiritual one. They might be the ego-driven one. And therefore, it's blocking it. But what is it ultimately about? It's about controlling that fire within. Period. And in your case, if you're the spiritual one, is holding on to your spirituality. Because spirituality allows you to do what? To see what is not good or beneficial for you. So, she really hurt you in the past, and I am empathic at the moment. Seems to have lost my drive for life. Oh no. Get it together, sister. You need the passion and the drive for life. Are you letting that steal? Maybe is this why this Ace of Wands in reverse? Because you're saying you lost your drive for life. You let somebody steal your passion and your drive for life, rather than seizing control of it yourself by any means necessary. Or whether you had to go to therapy or get group sessions or go out and social mingle but don't get in trouble. Those kind of things. It's about, again, I still go back to, it is about being a master and governing your own personal passions. Don't let nobody take your passion, your wand and energy and stuff. It's precious and it's vital. Okay. Nancy is like my best friend in my head. Ella, you are still doing the go through the tarot one card at a time. I was. It's just that I don't have much. I'm really not getting many followers on Facebook or friends or Patreon. It's like everything is stalemated. Like I said, one time it was going up and I had a lot of engagement, but I don't have a lot of engagement. And I do a whole lot of research to the point it might be, I enjoy it, but it might be, if y'all can see all of this I got cases. And when I say I got, them plastic bins with the lid on it, cases and cases of papers I done written and interpreted and books and and all. So it's like I'm getting caught. I'm going through this Virgo, the negative Virgo energy. I'm starting to get caught and drowned in it. Like preoccupied, like I said, it's my past time, it's my current time, it's my all time, it's before dinner, it's after dinner, it's after sex, it's whatever. Research. And so I'm getting fixed in energy that's supposed to be mutable and flowing and da 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 da. And so, yeah, in short, yes, I do want to continue. I meant to do it the other day. As far as we're talking about my the Facebook, I invite you all over to Facebook to befriend me. My name over there at Facebook is Can Angels Fly Tarot, and over there I was teaching the tarot one card at a time. And the truth of the matter, I only did one card and didn't go back. I've checked in every now and then to see what everybody else that's over there is talking about. But I do plan to continue because that's where I want to catalog my interpretation of the tarot and place it against the standard interpretation of the tarot. Any other questions or concerns? Anything anyone would like to address? How is everybody feeling on an emotional level? I would love to learn more about tarot. Well, please come over there and join me on Facebook at Can Angels Fly Tarot. And I'm going to do it one card at a time. You can always feel free to share over there. I think Facebook offers us another way to really share, or for you to share more with me, about what you've learned, what you know, what you've realized, what you see, those kind of things. Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, y'all. You're welcome. Well, I've been on here 2 hours and 11 minutes, y'all. I hope that you enjoyed this live stream. I'm calling myself giving you a head up, talking about the upcoming energies in the month of August and how many of us will, I'll see you soon, will be highly focused and with something that we want to manifest or bring into existence. Oh, it was one other thing I wanted to talk about, and this is just out of the ordinary. It's just been a thought as I've been interpreting stars. I really started coming to understand how reality is created. That, and you hear me talk about how we each are the collective product of our entire life experiences, and we've come to feel some type of way, think certain ways, therefore act certain ways, and that is our contribution into the development of physicality. But it's not just us. It's everybody around us. Every living creature and being here. The squirrel, the bird. Each have had their own experiences. And they have whatever little feelings they have or thoughts they have. And they are projecting into the world, creating or contributing to the reality. What am I saying? The birds in your community ain't had the same experiences as the birds in my community, nor see the same thing. You understand? Or smell the same thing. I don't have the same neighbors you have. And each of our neighbors has had different life experiences and come to feel some type of way and think a certain type of way. In your immediate small social circle, I'll say, to try to make it make sense, everybody is contributing to the reality that you all are experiencing. And we can really see that. I hope we start paying attention to what's going on. I often share with you, ladies and gentlemen, that I live in Detroit. And there has been a lot of blight. And when I walk through the community, I'll say, it depends on which block you're on. And I realize that in some communities, the mindset of the people is reflected in their environment. It's broken glass everywhere. People pissing on the stairs, they just don't care. That's Grandmaster Flash. And it's just so much going on. And then there are other communities that you can equally see how the people have contributed to the reality, whether it's the volume level of interactions amongst the people, the cleanliness, if the lawn is cut, all these things, how the people interact, the children interact, do they play, don't they play? That's the contribution. Do the birds land in your yard? Do they come eat your worms, or they don't? They come nowhere near. Does your grass cut? All of that is because we collectively are coming together to create our reality. That is on a small, intimate level. What do I always share? Is that we have a major, oh, look at this. We have a major global issue going on. She did what? Oh, I'm not thinking about Samantha. We have a major global issue going on, and we're all contributing to what it is and what it will be, even in the new paradigm. So I just post this, I'll make this last statement before I disconnect from this live stream. Is what are you personally contributing into the new paradigm? Think on it. All right, folks. Good night. Bye.